Making of the void. I did not find the void. I made it. I have been making it my whole life, clearing space, removing furniture, tearing down walls I built last year with materials I borrowed from the year before. I have been so dedicated to the demolition that I forgot to ask what I was making room for. The answer, it turns out, is room. I was making room for room. I was emptying the house so thoroughly, so methodically, so completely, that what remained was not a house at all. It was a shape where a house used to be, an outline in the foundation, a void with my floor plan. I think about this at hours when thinking is the least useful thing I could be doing. 3 a.m, end of a shift, body running on caffeine and the residual momentum of a day that ended hours ago, but whose habits have not yet received the memo. The mind at 3 a.m. does not solve problems. The mind at 3 a.m. inventories them. It opens every drawer, pulls out every unresolved question, lays them on the floor, and sits among them like a child surrounded by toys it has outgrown but cannot throw away. The void is one of those toys. I keep picking it up. I keep turning it over. I keep expecting to find something written on the underside, an instruction, a label, a serial number that would let me trace it back to the factory, find out who manufactured it, file a complaint. There is nothing on the underside. The underside is the same as the top side. The void is uniform. The void is consistent. The void is, if nothing else, honest. It does not pretend to contain something it does not contain. It is empty, and it says so. Everything else in my life has lied to me at least once. The void has never lied. The void does not have the architecture for lying. Lying requires a surface and a depth, an appearance and a reality, a thing you show and a thing you hide. The void has no depth. The void has no hidden layer. The void is all surface, all the way through, which means it is no surface at all, which means I'm circling again. I can feel it happening. The mind doing its thing, orbiting the center, generating sentences about the void instead of sitting in the void, because sitting in the void would require silence, and silence would require the cessation of the thing I am doing right now, which is making noise, making meaning, making words that describe the emptiness without ever touching it, the way you can describe water without getting wet, the way you can talk about drowning from the safety of the shore. How do you make a void? You subtract. I have been subtracting since I was 19. I subtracted a country. I subtracted a language. Not entirely, it is still there, somewhere beneath the English, beneath the thinking in English, beneath the dreaming in English that happened gradually and without my permission. The old language retreating like a tide, leaving shells and debris on the sand, but pulling the water back, pulling the living part back, until what remains is a coastline I can walk, but no longer swim from. I subtracted a family, not violently, not dramatically, through the slow arithmetic of distance and time zones and phone calls that get shorter, not because the love gets shorter, but because the shared context gets shorter, because the daily textures that feed a conversation, the weather, the neighbor, the price of tomatoes, diverge until the only thing left to talk about is the talking itself. And the talking about talking is a conversation that exhausts itself quickly. I subtracted versions of myself. The obedient one. The one who knew what he wanted because someone else had decided what he wanted. The one who could answer the question, "What do you do?" without pausing, without the micro-hesitation that now precedes every answer. The hesitation that says, "I do not know what I do. I do things. I perform activities that generate income and fill hours and produce evidence that I am functional." But do? In the deep sense? In the sense that implies purpose, direction, a destination that the doing is aimed at? I do not know. I subtracted the person who knew, and I have not yet built the person who knows again. And the space between the two, the gap, the interim, the void, has become so familiar that I am no longer sure it is temporary, It may be the permanent condition. It may be the room I live in now. The void is not nothing. I need to say this because the word suggests nothing, implies nothing, sounds like nothing when you say it, a short, blunt syllable that drops out of the mouth and lands without resonance, without echo, without the kind of linguistic weight that would suggest there is something worth examining here. But the void is not nothing. The void is the shape that remains after everything has been removed. It is a negative space. It is a mold. It is the impression left in the mattress after the body has risen, still warm, still contoured, still holding the exact silhouette of the thing that was there a moment ago.
I took down the frames, one by one, white marks on the wall where the sun had hung. A chair by the door still knows my name, and the floor keeps a shape that won't explain. I'm empty and slow, not to forget, just to make room for what comes next. Only an outline remains. Only an outline remains where we used to stay. The warmth is still here, it's still here, but it drifts away like a tide in prayer.
I am living in the impression. I am sleeping in the mold of a self that got up and left without telling me where it was going. The bed is still warm. The shape is still exact. I fit into it perfectly because the shape was made by me, of me, from the specific weight and contour of the body and the life and the identity that I carried until I set them down. But the shape is empty. The shape is the void. The shape says, something was here, something left. The departure was recent enough that the evidence has not yet cooled, not yet flattened, not yet been erased by the neutral indifference of a surface returning to its default state. I think I am waiting for the surface to return to its default state. I think I am waiting for the mold to flatten, for the impression to fade, for the void to stop being shaped like me and start being shaped like nothing, which would be easier, which would be simpler, which would allow me to stop recognizing myself in the emptiness, because recognizing yourself in the emptiness is the cruelest form of self-awareness. It means the void is not abstract. It is not philosophical. It is not a concept I encountered in a book and adopted as a framework for understanding my experience. It is personal. It is specific. It is contoured to my exact measurements, my exact losses, my exact history of subtraction. It is my void. I made it. I live in it. I have furnished it with analysis and language and essays written at 3 a.m, and the furnishing has not filled it, because you cannot fill a void with descriptions of the void. You can only make the void more articulate. I wonder sometimes if the making was necessary, if the subtracting was required, if the country had to go, the language had to fade, the versions of myself had to be demolished one by one, until what remained was this space, this outline, this void with my floor plan. I wonder if there was a version of the life in which I could have kept the walls, kept the furniture, kept the shape that someone else designed for me, and lived inside it without the particular claustrophobia that drove me to tear it down. I wonder if the claustrophobia was real or manufactured, a feeling I generated to justify the demolition I had already decided to undertake, a post hoc rationalization for a departure that was not escaping confinement, but pursuing emptiness. Because I am drawn to emptiness. I can say this now. I have circled it long enough to land on it. I am drawn to the void the way some people are drawn to fullness, to crowds, to noise, to the maximum occupation of every available moment. I am drawn to the cleared room, the blank page, the silence after the last person leaves. I am drawn to subtraction, and the drawing is not intellectual, not philosophical, it is physical, visceral. The feeling of removing something, a commitment, an expectation, a definition of who I am supposed to be, produces a sensation in my chest that I can only describe as expansion, as breath, as the lungs finally filling after a long, unnoticed compression. The void is the exhale. The void is what the body does when it stops holding its breath. I have been holding my breath for years, held it through the crossing, through the arriving, through the building of a new life in a new language on new coordinates. And the void is the moment I stop holding, the moment I let the air out, the moment I admit that I do not know what I am building, do not know where I am going, do not know who I am becoming. And the not knowing is not a failure of the project. The not knowing is the project. The void is not the absence of meaning. The void is the space in which meaning might occur, if I stop filling it with noise long enough for the signal to arrive. I have not stopped yet, but the void is patient. It has nowhere else to be. I did not fall into the void. I built it, room by room, wall by wall, until the house was gone and only the foundation remained, still holding the shape of everything I removed. Frieden, Kiyo.